Good morning, Panther fans. I have
On
a
a little bit
question.
more energy. Good morning,
I
Panther fans.
hey, this is
5-2.
my intro, old man. Now you'll have your turn. Just wait a second. I got it all planned out here. I have a question. What do you prefer? 4-5-1 with a 3.62 goals against and an 888 save percentage, or 6-3-1 with a 2.39 goals against and a 922 save percentage. There's only wrong answers.
No
I
brainer.
mean, yeah, we have ourselves a pickle. And what's funny is that we've been chasing this because we thought we had this problem going into last year, and then we thought by the end of the season we had it solved, and Bob's going to be good for multiple more years, and Spencer can just wait his turn. And now here we are, 19, 20 games in, and everything is upside down and inside out, and we're not in a playoff spot in Thanksgiving. And with that being the case, you have to go with the guy that's going to win you more games than not. And here we are. Good morning, Stu.
But feeling a lot better in more ways than one. Yeah, it's been a rough few days. Not completely 100%, but physically I'm feeling a lot better. And obviously, beautiful day here in sunny blue skies, Florida.
We have sun. We have sun.
What
When you
a
see my
win.
hands over here, that's me warming them up on the heater. That's all. It's just a little different.
I was telling you yesterday that I just had a feeling we were going to take the Bruins down.
Right.
I mean, it was inevitable for them to lose, but I just had a feeling like we haven't stepped up our game. And last night we stepped up our game. As far as the goaltending situation, I mean, Maurice has to see what we and everybody else are seeing. Knight is just playing a lot better.
Right.
And has earned the number one spot. So sorry, Bob. You want to start playing games? Got to prove your worth. And so far, you've not been the goalie that we had last year. So
right. Yeah, we're in a pickle there because everybody's Frank Saravalli had tweeted out something about expect some sort of a trade from the Panthers because Duclair's getting ready to come back here. They say maybe by Christmas. And I guess the question, and we can get into this part of it after we get into the game, but I guess the question is if you're Zito, do you throw Bobrovsky into that pile of players that you might possibly try to move? And could you even move him? I mean, at this point, I'd rather lose Bob than Hornqvist. Well, we'll leave it at that. We could get into that at the end of the video. Okay, last night, let's not pretend like we got the Bruins' best game, but that's okay. We had to come out and show that we could score some damn goals, number one, and then we could play a solid 60 minutes. And we finally fricking did it. And
by what you just said, my neighbor made that same comment to me this morning. He was like, the Bruins didn't look like they didn't look like they brought their game.
Right.
But I mean, there's a couple of factors that we had Swayman, right? That's how you pronounce his name.
Yes, Swayman.
So we had their second string goalie. And I think the Panthers needed that last night was a statement game. After the debacle in Columbus, I really think they needed to come home and show everybody that we're not as bad as we've been playing.
Right.
Or our record indicates.
Right.
So
there was a shift in the third period where the Bruins got the puck behind their net. And Colin White would not let the dude get out of the zone. And then eventually other Panthers arrived and saw what he was doing, and we stole the puck back. And it didn't lead to a goal. But on the next shift, Barkov then suddenly did the same thing that White did. And that's what I was talking about in the last couple of videos, where I said, if Kachuk's not going to play like a Tasmanian devil all 60 minutes every game, somebody else needs to do it. And then Barkov has a tendency to follow the lead of those guys. And I think that's why he's so well suited with Kachuk, but that's also why we saw him have success with Duclair, because it forced Barkov to play a different way than he would kind of naturally play. So when I saw that last night, I said, okay, we're going to win this game. We're going to win this game because everybody is finally pulling on the rope in the same direction, and these guys are kind of getting it. You know, we got spoiled as a fan base last year, and maybe some of these guys got a little spoiled by the success that we had last year, or how many times what we play a good 10, 12 minutes of hockey for the whole game, and we'd score 4 goals into 10 minutes and win 6-3. And some of these guys had to kind of maybe figure out that it has to be all 60 minutes. And especially when you add the way Bobrovsky's been playing, and then I'll let you have the mic after this point. Because last year we were still giving up a lot of 2-on-1s and breakaways, but Bob was making those saves last year. Remember at the beginning of the year, we kept saying we were so used to him giving up those goals, and we were so impressed that he'd finally stopped that we were not giving up those 2-on-1s and breakaways. We were giving him up the defense, but he wasn't letting in those goals. So this year it's been back to the way it had been, where the mistakes that we make are ending up in the back of the net, and then enter Spencer Knight. So I'll let you have your say.
No, confidence is a really big with goaltenders. So I don't really want to focus on Bob. I will just say Knight came out with Pasternak had a breakaway, stopped him. Marchand was all alone, he stopped him. Those are the types of goals that Bob's been letting in.
Right.
And those are the type of goals that turn the game around. You know, the 2 goals that were scored were on 5-on-3s.
Yeah.
And, you know, we almost shot ourselves in the foot with all these high sticking penalties, which you and I both know need to stop. I mean, these guys really need to be more aware of what they're doing with their sticks, because it's ridiculous. But yeah, I'll just say, okay, so we ragged on Knight his previous game. I did, especially. Was that the Calgary game?
Yeah, for the one late goal, yeah.
Yeah, where he just let in, that was just like Spencer Knight letting in those goals. But last night, he was in, he was in the zone.
Yep.
And you could just tell how much better the team seems to play in front of him as opposed to Bob. Just so much more confidence that they know if they make a mistake, the guy in the net's gonna cover.
Right. And that's exactly it, because if you know the guy's gonna cover it, I mean, that's why we had so much success last year, because it was Keaton, Bobrovsky as well. The guys knew that if we pinched a little bit too hard, and the defense went a little bit too much, and the puck ended up bouncing the wrong way, and there was a 2-on-1 coming back way, they had confidence that Bob was going to make that save. So they had confidence to play that aggressive style. We just haven't seen a lot of that, this year. And then the Barkov, Kachuk, stop screwing around with that, Maurice. Okay. I mean, I like Colin White. He's a nice player, but leave Kachuk with Barkov. Okay.
Yeah.
Leave Kachuk with Barkov. The other thing last night is, hey, look, you got to give, Mark Stahl played a good game last night. There's no way around that. And even Eric Stahl looked like he was, I don't know, like somebody shot him full. I want to know what he took before the game. You see what I'm saying? Because he was at a different energy level than we've seen him so far. But
the only thing is, he had three solid chances to score. He shot everyone over the net.
Yeah. No, I look. That part I understand.
He didn't suck. He didn't suck.
Look, I'm not buying into Eric Stahl. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying for purposes of last night, he's shown that at the very least he can be a part of a win, and if he plays decent, it's not somebody that's gonna cost us games by being terrible. You know what I mean? Um, but Boston, look, let's be honest. Boston was due. Even the Devils lost, right? The Devils finally lost. So, and that's the other thing. I mean, you look at the standings, and I counted it up this morning. There's just the Eastern Conference alone. If you take after the top teams, there's 9 teams within 6 points of each other between the two divisions. So, I mean, it is going to be blood sport in the East because, nobody expected Boston to be this good. Nobody expected the Devils, obviously, to be anywhere near the top of the division. And then you got the Islanders in second place for crying out loud. And right. So you've got teams that have made a statement, and then the Red Wings. I mean, people thought maybe they could take over for Boston or Pittsburgh or the Capitals if one of those teams missed out. So there's a lot of new blood in what looks like it's going to be a tight East, and Panthers can't. I think Maurice had a good plan going in to the season of, hey, let's get used to things, wins and losses. We're not overly concerned about that. We've got a good enough team. But we're 5 points behind second place Toronto. So we got to stop
A
around.
lot of hockey left, bro.
Yeah, but that thing
I'm not worried.
Okay.
I mean,
look,
Maurice,
I'm the one that predicted we're going to win the
to,
cup.
What's that?
I said, I'm the one that predicted we're going to win the cup. So I'm not saying I'm not worried. I mean, I'm not saying I'm worried. I'm saying we need to stop dicking around.
We need to just stay in the mix and get hot, like, let's say the end of February, beginning of March, and just go on a tear for the last 20 games of the year. Go into the playoffs hot as a fucking pistol.
Right.
I just want to make a comment about the Barkov-Kachuk connection, because you could just see it now, that power play tip-in.
Yeah. Oh.
That Barkov the puck was even bounced, and Kachuk, he deflected it off the bounce, but you could see Barkov's hands. You could see how gingerly or gently he laid it in there for him.
Right.
Perfect. It was just perfect. So I mean, again, the more they play with each other, and let's face it, they've only been with each other, a couple of months.
Right. And half of that they weren't playing together, at least.
I mean, Barkov and Huberdeau were together for so long, and that line when Yager was playing with them, so just Maurice, don't fuck with them.
Yeah, enough.
Just leave them be. I thought the defense played really good.
Yeah.
And on your recap, you amplified what I've been saying forever, and that Gustav Forsling is our best defenseman. Yeah. I mean, game after game, he shows it. It's just in like the little things. I mean, how many times have you seen him, be in the right position, or, chase down a puck, beat the other guy to the puck, or he just gets it out of the zone real quick, or, he gets to the blue line and, dumps it in, and it's just simple. He just plays very simply. Right. And his skating is second to none. The thing with Forsling is his hockey IQ.
Yeah. Yep.
Nobody's got better hockey IQ on this team than he does.
How long until he gets paid? I'm going to look up his contract now, because I was thinking about that last night.
I think he's got 2 years left, but if Uyghur got $7 million, what do you think Forsling's going to go for?
Well, that's the thing. Let me see. In 2021, he agreed to a 3-year deal, and now it's going to the page. It went to just the generic page. So I think he signed a 3-year deal in 21. So that means last year, this year, and next year.
So how much is he getting paid?
It was a 3-year, like $8 million deal combined.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
grossly underpaid.
Yeah, and he's not gonna be, yeah, so, yeah. Um,
And if Zito's
it's
smart,
not too early to start worrying about that, I'm not gonna lie.
well, as soon as the season ends and we have that cap space,
Yeah,
he's your first priority.
yeah, 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 yeah.
My
No,
opinion.
no, no, I have,
Lock him
right.
down, lock him down long term.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That's mandatory. That has to happen for sure, and that's the thing, right? I mean, Zito finds these guys and, we sign them to these nice deals, but then eventually one by one, you know, you got to have the money to sign them. And
Eric, Maher is another one.
I know. Yeah. No, kid's good.
Zito, he's another guy you found.
Right.
Somebody's cast off.
Right. Right. And don't leave out Radko Gudas is playing really, really well. And he's on an expiring contract as well.
Yeah,
So I'd like to see him.
despite his age, I re-sign him.
Yeah, you give him another
No
two,
doubt.
2 years. Yeah, give him another, maybe a 2 or a 3-year deal. You know what I mean? I think he's only 32. He's not showing any signs of slowing down. I'll put it that way.
No,
Um, yeah, and that,
I like our defense. And you're right. Mark Stahl played good last night. He got a couple of really good hits in there. One on
yeah,
Krejci, man. He
yeah,
knocked Krejci on his
he
ass.
did. He stood him right up.
But but if it comes down to it, and the money becomes an issue, I'm telling you, we got Carlson and Kierstead down there just chomping at the bit to
Right.
come up.
Well, it's not like,
I don't think there would be much of a decline in the defense if
right.
I don't know. Did they sign? What was the deal with Stahl?
Stahl's
Was it
just
2
making a
years? 2
one, like, it's
years?
just like a 1-year minimum wage, 800,000
Yeah.
type of deal. So
So
we wouldn't even save any money by swapping anybody. Um, and and that's the other thing is that, that's what's been going on Panthers Twitter is curious about. And that's the if Duclair comes back in a month, what's going to happen and who's going to go and all of that. And people kind of ask me what I think. And I said, I don't want to say what I think because no matter what I think, it ain't good. And then I'm going to get blamed for predicting it. So to keep because there's no good options. Just unless the best option we got is somebody making $3 million has to go. Just if Ekblad could just twist his ankle again and be out for the rest of the season on LTIR, we'd be fine. We wouldn't have to get rid of anybody, right? Okay, block a shot. Ow, my ankle hurts. I'm going to rest the rest of the year. I mean, that's really the best case. No, but it is the best case scenario to get Duclair back on the team. Otherwise, somebody has to go and they had to be making $3 million or more. And that's a small amount of people. And if you start thinking about Hornquist, number one, he has to agree to go. And number two, it's going to cost us a player just to get rid of him, just to bring Duclair back. I don't know what the hell Zito's going to do. You and I waited all summer long to figure out what he was going to do. And I guess he kind of wanted to, roll the dice and see if somebody else got hurt and then we wouldn't have to lose anybody, which I get because we traded Vetrano last year, like 3 days before Ekblad got hurt. And then we wouldn't have needed to trade Vetrano because we didn't need the space. So I guess he kind of feels like he got burnt that way last year. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what we do. I mean, the obvious move is Hornquist. I don't like that move. Stu's got an idea. I can see
can
it.
we win without Duclair?
We can't trade him. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Because somebody told me this. We can't trade him from the LTIR. Because I brought that up. You guys, somebody in the comments, let me know if this is correct or not. But what I was told, we can't trade him without taking him off of LTIR first. And we can't take him off of LTIR without going over the cap. So somebody had said we can't do that. Now I didn't look that up. to the comment section. Let me know if that's accurate or not. Um, I don't want to trade Duclair. We need Duclair. That's the other thing. And who's going to trade for a guy that just busted his Achilles and you don't know what he's going to be? That's the other aspect there. I guess somebody would maybe, right? But the other part to it is we could only trade him for picks or prospects anyway, because we don't have any room to bring up. Like we couldn't even trade him for like an extra forward because we don't have any room. So I'm not sure what the hell Zito's gonna do. Um, because the only other list of guys is Bennett, Verhage. Well, I mean, when I say list of guys, I mean guys making enough money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then why do one to do the other? Um,
A
and you
bad
can't.
situation.
It is, and you can't buy out Hornquist now because the buyout period is passed.
Listen,
And
any move that's made around the cap Duclair Bob is gonna just throw off the balance of this team.
unless Zito can find a way to, here's a question for Stu. Here's a question for the chat. Given that we have to clear space for Duclair, if somebody said, give us Bob and Heponiemi and we'll split the 10 million with you in half the cost, so we eat half, but we get half back, do you do it? Do you do
Yes.
it? Stu says yes.
Yeah.
So then
Who's gonna take Bob's place? Who do we have
Guzda,
as backup?
Guzda,
Who?
Guzda. He played in the preseason. We got a minor league goalie. He's like 8 foot, 500 pounds. I mean, he's a freaking monster. Let me
All
look
right.
this. I mean, he
Not
looked
that
good.
not
I mean,
not
look.
not that the guy would be getting a lot of playing time.
Well, that's the
Because
thing.
Knight could be our Vasilevsky. I mean, Vasilevsky basically plays every game.
Yeah.
And Knight's only 21, so you know he can handle the workload.
I'm looking at his stats right now. I mean, he's playing. Oh, jeez, too many ads on these sites.
Listen, the only problem is Bob not waiving his no trade.
Oh yeah, that's another
And
good point.
I've gone over that with you ad
Yeah.
infinitum. There's
Yeah.
no way that Bob waives. I don't see why he would.
Well, if he wants to play, I mean, look, you don't know, right? If they come to him and say you can be Spencer Knight's backup or Pittsburgh, whoever wants you, and they're gonna make you their starter. I mean, he's gonna at least think about it. He's got a lot of pride, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, well, once they make it clear that they don't want him anymore.
well, that's the other
What
thing, right?
do you do then? Then you put Bob in net and he lets up 10 goals a game as a fuck you?
I don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo is doing pretty good for the 49ers, and they spent the entire summer desperate. They had like a Craigslist ad out. Anybody want this dude? And now he's doing pretty well for him. So I mean, it does happen that way. You know what I mean?
No, I think it would have to be a cup contender
Right,
that feels a new goaltender
right,
would make all the difference.
right.
The only problem is that Bob is not playing
Well, then
up to
that's
Bob.
right.
That's the thing.
I know.
But
It's a mess.
if there's a way to get that done, I do it in a heartbeat.
There
We
you go.
obviously know the future of Panther goal is Spencer Knight,
Right.
and I think Bob knows it too. I
Well,
really
yeah,
do.
I'm sure he does.
I think
sure he does.
he's feeling the heat.
And the other thing I want to add in there, because I said Gusta could be the backup. If we made that deal, that imaginary deal, Duke comes back, that gives us $2 million to play with. If we needed to get ourselves a veteran backup from somebody, we'd have a couple of bucks to do that with too as well. If Guzda wasn't, good enough. But I don't know, man. I mean, I'm talking that way because, we've been saying it all summer. Stu and I, since the end of the season, have been trying to manifest some other way other than Patrick Hornquist, some other way. Now, somebody did mention something to me. If we waived Hornquist and he went down to the AHL, there's some cap relief that we would get. And um we would still, I think I wasn't happy with how it turned out, but what it was is basically with the cap relief that we got, then somebody making like Luosterainen's money would have to go. Now, I'm not saying I want to get rid of him, but it would give us some relief to where maybe Zito could make some other kind of magic work. But when you look at the roster, it's either guys making 800,000 minimum wage, or, I mean, guys you don't want to get rid of. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't make enough of a difference. If you get rid of them, you still got to bring in somebody, and they're not making enough. Is it
Yeah.
the only guy that's making, like Luosterainen's making mid money, Colin White's making mid money, and I ain't trading Luosterainen, and I don't see anybody on fire to trade for Colin White. So we're really in a pickle. Unless Duke would just do us a favor and have a setback. He could do that. He could, on my back. You know what I mean? But kind of want him in the lineup to play into shape. We're gonna need him. We need the extra. We need
And he's
one more
still, it's
sniper on
still,
this team.
it's still
Go
the
ahead.
unknown factor. How is he gonna play when he comes back?
Right.
Is he
Right.
gonna be the same player he was before he got hurt? Or has this injury hampered him? His speed is his game. So
There's another question here.
that's a big if, bro.
That's one big if, but something we have not even thought about. Um, we love Hornquist. Love him.
We do.
Okay. But I mean, how can I put this? We might be able to get somebody that can kind of do what he does for $1 million, $1.5 million. What I'm saying is, okay, you trade Hornquist, we make the deal. Now we've got 5.3. Duke comes back. Now we've got 2.3. Now that gives us room to get somebody in, right? To maybe take Hornquist's spot. And as much as we don't want to do that, in terms of production on the ice, okay, we could probably get somebody that would, his value is more off the ice than anything else.
I was just waiting. I was waiting for you
Yeah.
to say that because
No,
that's
I
exactly,
agree there.
that's
I
what
agree
exactly
there.
was his value to the team
Right.
is more important production wise.
Right. I get what I
He
know.
he is a core piece of this team. And it would be a big mistake. I mean, number one, if we put him on waivers, somebody's grabbing him. So
Or
I
you think
just
somebody
think,
will grab him?
yeah, the guy is just, I mean, I don't even want to think of him leaving this team. His value is just, it's just, you can't look at his value for what he does on the ice.
Right. Right.
He's
Well,
not wearing the A for nothing.
right. Now, another option, as long as we're here, another option that I'm sure the comments would be, I think we'd get a lot of agreement about this one. And there'd be a market for them and everything. It's a guy named Ekblad.
It's just wild how you and I have telepathy, because that was going to be my next thing.
I mean, we could fill a lot
That
of
would be
holes.
another, people in the NHL would be going, is
What?
Zito like off his rocker?
Right.
Trading Ekblad,
I know,
unthinkable.
I know, but,
But
but,
we've proven we can win without him.
yes,
He's
yes,
proven that he gets injured a lot.
right,
As much as I mean, you know that Aaron Ekblad is my favorite
yeah,
player, but
right.
it's a business.
It's a business.
Everybody, not everybody, but I saw so many tweets this last week about Eric Carlson.
Yeah.
How Eric Carlson, would be a good fit here, but Eric
He's making
Carlson makes
like 11 and a
Ekblad
half.
money,
No, he's
you
making way
know.
more. No, yeah, it would have to be, um, we could do Bob for, we don't have room to do Bob for Carlson straight up. We don't have cap space to do that. Carlson makes too much money. So
And
we
everything
need,
changes next year.
well, yeah, but don't forget,
Next year, I think we got 15 million, right?
well, yeah, if,
Gandal's 5.4 comes off,
right, the Hornquist,
right? The
Hornquist's money comes off.
Hornquist might get re-signed, bro. You never
He
know.
ain't gonna get re-signed into a 5.3.
No,
Right,
no, but he might take a haircut to stay for another year.
sure.
Let's just not even think about that. Let's just think about where we're at. But what I'm saying is timing's everything, and next year we're probably going to have some decent money. You
Right,
know,
right.
we could find a way to get rid of Bob. That would be a miracle.
Yeah.
And if anybody can pull it off, it's the magician. If the
I mean, look, Bill Zito, I would not be shocked to wake up tomorrow morning and somehow he managed to package Bob and Ekblad together. Nothing would shock me. Okay. You know what I mean? Throw in Ekblad to get him to take Bob's contract, nothing retained. And then we've got $17.5 million worth of cap space and he can go get anybody he wants.
Hey, Hockey World, you think my Huberto Uyghur for
Hey,
Kachuk trade was good?
Bob and
Look at
Ekblad
look at
straight up
look
for
at this one.
Carlson. Bob and Ekblad straight up for Carlson. Let's do it. Hey,
I do.
right? Let's come
Yeah.
on. As long as we're just as Sunday morning, not Sunday, it's Thanksgiving morning. It feels like Sunday because I don't
We're
have.
spitballing here, but
Yeah,
hey,
yeah. Bob and
all right,
Ekblad straight up
guys,
for.
that is the topic of conversation in the comment section.
Yeah,
Everybody watching this video, and by the way,
yeah,
if you haven't subscribed to this channel, Flying
yeah.
Fluffy Hockey, the #1 Panther fan podcast in the world, do it now. It just takes a quick click of your finger. Obviously,
We
if you like the
appreciate it.
video, hit the like button. But more importantly, it's your comments now, guys. Want to hear
Yeah.
from everybody. What do you think about that possible trade? Or
Jeez.
if you don't want to comment on the Bob and Ekblad for Carlson, give us your ideas on how we resolve this cap issue situation.
Yeah.
Because we've gone round and round and round, and we keep coming back with the same thing. But oh my
Right.
God, can you imagine the hockey world? Can you imagine the NHL? Bill Zito,
Right.
is he on freaking acid?
It,
First he trades Huberto and Uyghur,
yeah.
and now he trades Ekblad and Bob.
Bob.
That would be a good trade though for us.
Oh yeah, we'd be better. I mean, let's be honest. We'd be better, and we'd clear up how much space. You know what I mean? But nobody. They probably don't have enough space to do that. We'd have to eat some of that. We'd have to eat some of that. You know what I mean? Because they're losing 11 and a half, so they can only take on probably 11 and a half. I don't know how much space they would have. So we'd have to eat some of that.
Like I said, it's got to be a team that is desperate for a really solid #1 goalie. Again, if only Bob was playing well, if Bob was playing up to his snuff,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
We wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right.
But,
Right. We're so screwed. We're so screwed,
Robin Leonard, Simeon
Varlamov.
Varlamov. There was one other Mrazek. There were like
Yeah.
4 other goalies that we could have
Yeah.
gotten for $5 million.
Yep.
Instead of Bob. But
I know.
it was a PR move, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look,
They weren't thinking, the big picture on that one.
No, we've been trying to pin the tail on the donkey for quite some time now. We've been thinking we have this core and they just need this piece and that piece, and now it's kind of a Franken team, you know what I mean? I mean, there's only Barkov, Ekblad, and Knight left that we even drafted, right? No, Lundell. So there's nobody else that we drafted.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it. That's
unbelievable.
that's not
Well,
good.
we can go round and round with, what's going to be when Duclair comes back. He's not back yet, so let's focus on the team that we have now. Again, the boys played a good game last night. How do we maintain this? How do we show more consistency? The power play looks like we now have a power play. They're working that system.
Right.
You
I
know,
think how we maintain
I
it.
was against, as I told you, I was against having, Kachuk behind the net. I prefer that. And he scored his goal on the power play, that Barkov tip in. Kachuk was in front, which is where he should be.
Right, where it should
But
be.
they're definitely moving around more they're moving it around faster with intent. I
Right.
think they now know what they want to do with it, rather than, although on that 5-on-3, again, no shots. They were looking for that perfect pass. I think
Yeah.
someone posted it was 1 minute and 21 seconds worth of passing.
They were trying too hard to get Ekblad the one-timer there, which I get, you know. But where they're having success is when they're getting guys. Remember, Reinhardt got one in the bumper roll the other night, when they're getting in front of the net in the middle, because those one-timers just aren't going in right now. Because we're missing Duclair. Because we're missing Duclair. You throw Duclair out there, that might
And where does
change things.
Duclair? Where again? I said Bennett's line, but where does Duclair slot in when he comes back? You take Kachuk off Barkov's line.
No.
Put him with Bennett, right?
You put him with Bennett.
Bennett and
You put him
Luosterainen.
with Bennett. Yeah. You put him with Bennett. Yeah, because you've got Lundell with Cousins and Reinhardt that looks good. And then you've got Colin White. So you're going to move Colin White down, and there would be an open space if we got rid of Hornquist. You see what I'm saying? I'm sure that's how it would go if that's how it went. We'll put it that way.
I think I think he needs more rehabbing.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard he fell and
Yeah, I don't think he's 100%.
doesn't look it to me.
I think it's going to take at least another 2, maybe 3 months.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, all right, guys, we appreciate all the support. We'll see what the hell happens. But if they if the Panthers do trade Ekblad and Bob for Carlson, you'll hear it. You heard it here first. There'll be another one of those videos out. Although this is a little bit, we were trying to think of something. That video I did, that was just me talking shit to the camera. You know what I mean? I was just filling space, and the next thing you know. So I don't know. Maybe Zito. Maybe if Zito's watching, he might just be go. Oh, wait a minute. That's a
Wait.
yo. Hey,
How
guys,
about this one, Eric? Bob and Ekblad for Chychrun.
It's a lot. Well, how much is Chychrun? See, we got to get somebody that's making a ton of money back, or we're gonna be owing. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to. That's too much. That's too much for Chychrun. I mean, I guess they're doing us a favor.
Listen,
by taking
we had to
Bob.
give up. Listen, we gave up Lawson Krause to get rid of Boland's contract.
Yeah. Right.
By the way, Lawson Krause has 9 goals this year.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I was having a good day.
Hey, your boy up in Philly.
Yeah, sip it.
Is doing pretty good too.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah,
but no, Arizona would be a team because let's face it, they suck.
Yeah.
So they need a real, they need a name in goal. I don't know who their goalie is.
You think Bob's going to waive his no move clause to Arizona? What
Well,
kind of meds are you on with the you were sick? You must be.
It's as warm as Florida.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. That poor
He
man.
ain't getting
Jeez.
traded to Calgary where it's snowy.
Jeez. Well,
At least he'd
we'll
be
see.
playing to, packed houses every night.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
True.
just throwing that out there. But that accomplishes a number of things and brings back the homeboy.
Right.
Anyway, again, guys,
let us know what you think.
We're just spitballing here, so
yeah,
I'm anxious to see your comments and
definitely
listen to what you guys think.
Yep. All right.
If anybody could come, we should have a contest here. If anybody comes up with like a better scenario or a better plan.
No, they have to come up with the scenario that happens.
Right.
We can make all sorts of things that sound good, but can Zito pull it off? That's a different story. Now, if Zito somehow, if we wake up and Zito can pull off Ekblad and Bob for Carlson, I mean, the NHL planet will burn down. It'll be 24 hours of just like you said, there will be videos titled "Is Bill Zito on acid?" Who knows? Who knows how this is going to work?
You imagine Erik Karlsson and Gus Forsling as a top pair?
Yeah.
Karlsson, look and see the leading scorers for defensemen. I think Karlsson is still leading. He was as of a week ago.
1 second. Defenseman leaders scoring. Let's see. Oh, they're giving me, hold on a second. Erik Karlsson's right there at the top, 29 points. He's got 11 goals and 18 assists.
And what's his thing?
He's got 11 goals and 18 assists. He's also 32 years old.
Yeah, he's got 4 more years at least.
Yeah.
What is he making? 8?
No, geez. I think he's making I think I saw somebody say he's making 11 and a half. Hold on. Let me look that up.
29 points, 11 goals, only 20 games into the season.
He signed an 8-year. Yep, it's 11 and a half average. He signed an 8-year, $92 million deal. Doesn't tell me when. Let me see how many more years.
Let's throw that idea out the window.
He is
Ekblad's making 7.5. So the only way that works is if we take half of Bob's 10 million. So
yeah, we'd have to take half of Bob's
5 and 7.5. So that's 12. That's the only way we can afford Karlsson.
Yeah, and he's signed through 26, 27. So to age 36, which that's not the end of the world. He's 32 now, still leading the league in scoring, for defensemen.
All right.
Yeah, Ekblad and Bob for Karlsson will take half of Bob's salary. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So that's I wonder if I should put up a Twitter poll.
No, let's keep the idea for ourselves. Twitter, forget Twitter. We'll keep the idea here. Twitter's got enough superstars.
All right. So everybody on the podcast here, please, let's keep this in-house.
Yeah. Bill, I know you're watching.
If it happens, man, that's just a mind blower.
Yeah.
And again, I come back. Hey, if you thought my Huberto Uyghur for Kachuk trade was good, you ain't seen nothing yet.
And San Jose's got warmish climate, right? What's the let's hear because we know Bob is watching. This video has gone off the rails. Let's see. San Jose weather.
Oh, San Jose is nice. It's probably 70s.
It's fucking 41 degrees right now. San Jose. But the high is 71. The high tomorrow is 74. So it's nice.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just a
it's
little
in it.
chilly right now, Bob. Just get a sweater. We'll buy you a couple of sweaters, and there you go, San Jose.
Yeah,
He ain't never
the
gonna.
days are nice there. I like San
Yeah,
Jose. I've been there
yeah,
many times.
yeah. All right, I'm gonna
All right,
go
but listen,
before.
it's something to think about.
Yeah, hey, it works for us. We're good.
Would would San Jose do it though? Who's in goal? Reimer, right?
Yeah, I mean, would San Jose do it? Sure, why not? They would do it for the opposite reason that we did Barkov and our Huberto and Kachuk. They would think, hey, we're getting Carlson production, but 6 years younger. They would do it for the reverse reason. It would give them a solid goaltender. They'd be even on the cap, and they'd get a much younger defenseman. I mean, I'm just saying. The more I think about this,
Carlson's so much better than Ekblad.
yeah, but no, he's not, Stu. What are you talking about? Ekblad's just as good as Carlson, isn't he? Isn't
Especially offensively.
And I mean, look, those injuries, the three injuries and all the concussions, that was consequential. Okay. It was freak accidents. He's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. He's fast too. Definitely fast. He gets on his boat and he goes fast.
So who we got next? We got St. Louis on Saturday, right?
Yeah, we got the Blues on Saturday, and then don't ask me about next week, bro. I don't want to talk about it. Okay.
Okay, I won't.
Okay.
So obviously we need to win Saturday. We need to win St. Louis before we
yeah,
go
no,
on the
we have
road.
to win that game. We have to win that game.
Just goes to show you, man, we could. And again, I don't think Boston brought its best last
No,
night.
no, that we can
Certainly
admit that.
not the type of Bruin team we normally play.
Right.
They're normally like they step up their game when they play us, and I didn't see
Yeah.
that last night. But
Yep.
listen, 5-2 wasn't a 2-1 game. It was 5-2.
Yeah. Yeah. The
So-
impetus on the two part. That's the part we need is the two or maybe three. That's it. We can win allowing 2 or 3. We ain't gonna win 4 and 5.
Yep.
Love you, Bob.
Yep.
All right, guys. We're gonna shut up now. This is probably gonna be like an hour long. We'll see you again soon.